Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Mimi's Makeup. In this video, we're gonna make this beautiful hat or ice cap, whatever you want to call it, for this time. It's winter now and it's time to get warm and nice. So we're gonna make this beautiful crochet cable hat. Really amazing, looks so beautiful. I have different colors you can see here, but the red color will be more like convenient for this time of the year as we are in the Christmas time. So I really hope you like it, and I'm gonna show you how to do it in details, in the specific details, very detailed details, because it's kind of like a little bit of tricky thing, but still it's convenient for beginners. So if you're a beginner, want to do something fancy and looks beautiful and be happy about what you're doing, this video is for you. So I really hope you like this ice cap or this hat, and if you want to see how I made this beautiful one, please keep watching. I'm gonna say everything and explain everything to you. So let's get started. Before we start this tutorial, I really hope you like this makeup look. This makeup look is already on my channel. I'm gonna link it in the card description box down below if you want to go and check it out and complete your Christmas look. I really hope you like it, and let's go to our project. Hi everyone again, so let's start our project. And as you can see, this is the yarn I'm gonna use. It's Himalaya Anti-Pilling Super Day Everyday Super Luxe. Sorry, I'm gonna use this color. It's amazing, and the sensation of the yarn is amazing. It's 100 gram, 250 meters in 273 yards, and the color is, I guess it's 407. So it's the nice red color. I love this yarn so much, and I'm gonna use crochet needle number 4.5 millimeter. So this is the needle I'm gonna use with this yarn. I really hope you like this project, and let's get started. Okay, so this is the tail of my yarn. I'm gonna make a slip knot at the beginning to start my work. As you can see, twist and grab the yarn from this loop, and I made my slip knot. It's really big now, of course, but I'm gonna just adjust it to my needle. As you can see, I have a long tail. I love having long tails because it's easy for me to hide it and seam it inside the ice cap after I finish. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna make 80 chains for the medium-sized head. You need 10 chains for each cable, so I have 80 chains. As you can see, I finished them. If you want to increase or decrease, you increase or decrease by 10, because every cable needs 10 chains, okay, or 10 stitches. As you can see, I made everything perfect, and make sure it's the chain is not like twisted. And then I'm gonna slip knot to the first one, so it's ready. As you can see, this is the base of my hat or my panne. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna make chain 2. I'm gonna chain 2, and this is not a double crochet. Okay, it's just an elevation for me to work. It's nothing. So as you can see, usually, okay, it was out of focus. Okay, usually we work between these two loops in the chains. But in this project, I'm gonna work on the back loop of the chain. So you can work in the between two loops if you are a complete beginner and looks a little bit like difficult for you, but it will be so much better to work on the back loop, because the finishing line of the hat will be very nice, and I'm gonna show you in a minute. So as you can see, I'm going and making a double crochet in the back loop only. Okay, it's a little bit tricky. It's hard to like grab it, especially the needle is a little bit large for the yarn. But as you can see, I'm going like in the back and grab it and make like a regular double crochet. So I'm gonna make a double crochet in each chain or each back loop. So I'm gonna end up with 80 double crochet, because we need an 80 stitches for each to make 8 cables. 10 stitches for each cable. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit tricky, but we get used to it. So if you're a beginner, like try it. If it's easy for you, that will be perfect. If it's not, you can work between the two loops, and again, it will look so beautiful after you finish. But I'm gonna show you now how it's gonna look like when we work on the back loop, and why I choose to work on the back loop. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit hard, but it's okay. As you can see, this is the lower part of the cap or the hat, and as you can see, the chain, the shape of the chain is perfect on the lower line, so it's very nice, will give you a very nice and neat finishing. But again, if it's difficult as you are a beginner, do it in between like the 2 loops. It would be so much easier for you. So I'm gonna continue working like this until I finish the row, and I'm gonna come back to show you what we're gonna do next. Okay guys, so as you can see, I finished the first row. Looks so beautiful, so neat and perfect. The lining is amazing. This is my base of or the base of my ice cap or my hat. As you can see, I'm gonna skip the first 2 chains. Doesn't count as anything. I have 80 double crochet right now without the 2 chains, and now I'm gonna slip stitch to the first stitch here. It's for the first double crochet I made, okay, and I'm gonna slip stitch to it to close the first row and make sure it's perfect and neat. And as you can see, looks amazing. And now I have the base of my cap or hat to build the hat over. As you can see, it looks so beautiful. The next row, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. It will be a little bit different. This is the base, so the next about 3 or 4 rows will be a bit different. So I'm gonna chain 2, and again, this doesn't count as anything, it's just an elevation for my work. And now as you can see, the first 2 double crochet, I'm gonna work back post double crochet in the first 2. Okay, so how to do that? So I'm gonna yarn over around my needle, and I'm gonna go from the back. So usually we go in the stitch itself, in this space, right? We go and make our double crochet in this stitch, but in the back post double crochet, we're gonna go from the back just like this and grab the double crochet itself, not its stitch, the double crochet itself to the back, as you can see just right here. And I'm gonna yarn over and go through 2 to complete my normal double crochet. As you can see, this is the back post double crochet. So I'm taking the double crochet from the first row to the back and work double crochet, so it will grab it to the back and make a like a depression in my work. It will be obvious in the next couple of rows, and as I work the front post double crochet, it will be more obvious. So I finished 2 back posts. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make an 8 front post, and it's the same technique, but we're gonna go from the front, not from the back. So we go from the back to make the back post. We go from the front and grab the double crochet to the front and make our double crochet, go through 2, and this is the front post. It is the same technique, but you're going from the front, taking the double crochet to you and make your like the double crochet of that new row that you're working on. Okay, and again, this is the next one. As you can see, you begin to see a little bit of elevation in the work. This is the front post, taking the double crochet to the front, so begin to see a little bit of elevation even in the first row. And I'm gonna continue working like this until I finish 8 double crochet, front post double crochet. Okay, it will be of course more obvious on the next couple of rows. As I work more rows, it will be more obvious, and you can see the difference because we are in the second row, like it's not enough. So I'm gonna finish my 8 front post double crochet, and as I said before, we need 10 stitches for each cable. So 2 of them will be back post and 8 will be front post. And as you can see, you begin to sense a little bit of elevation in the front post and a little bit of depression in the back post. Will be obvious here. And again, now it's time to make my 2 back posts. Yarn over, go to the back and make my double crochet, and again do the other one, and again take it to the back just like this, and yarn over, go through 2, and we finish the 2 back posts. As you can see, if we look from the inside or from the back, the 2 back posts elevated. You see the elevation on the wrong side of the work, and the front post looks depressed on the wrong side of the work. So it's like the reverse of what we're gonna do, right? So as you can see, I'm finishing my 2 back posts, and now I'm doing my 8 front posts. I'm just speeding up a little bit because I guess you get the idea. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit tricky again if you are a beginner, but if you are familiar with crochet, it will be nice for you, just if it's the first time, the first couple of stitches. As you can see, this is the 2 back post and the front post. You can see the difference now. It's way obvious than the first time or the first couple of stitches. Okay, again we need to make 2 back post double crochet after our 8 front post, and again I'm gonna make another 8 front post double crochet in the next 8 stitches or 8 double crochet from the previous row, and repeat the same process over and over. So I have 80 chains, so I'll end up with 8 cable. Okay, each cable is 10 stitches. You need 10 stitches for each cable. Okay, so if you're gonna increase or decrease, you increase and decrease by 10. Okay guys, almost there. So this is the last front post double crochet from my 8, the last 8. Okay, so I finished my row right now. So you need to finish with the 8 front post double crochet. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slip stitch to the first double crochet from the beginning, and as you can see, it looks so beautiful. I finished with 8 front post, and I started with 2 back posts, and now I know that everything is perfect and the number is nice. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make 2 back posts and 8 front post as I did, but I'm gonna show you a trick I'm doing. So now I made 2 chains for the elevation, and these are my 2 back post double crochet that I need to work on. But for the first one, and I have my 2 chains I made for the elevation from the previous row, I'm gonna take them with the first double crochet, so it will be hidden in the work. I love doing this trick. It will make everything seamless, and the ice cap or the hat will be symmetrical. You don't know where you start, where you begin, and where you end. So as you can see, I'm taking the 2 chains with the double crochet and go to the back and make a back post double crochet. So I'm mixing them together. It will be more obvious on the next rows, and as you can see, they are mixed together in the same stitch, so it's not obvious. And I'm gonna repeat this as I go for the rest of the work. The next one, I'm gonna work as normal, make a back post double crochet as normal. So this is the trick I'm showing you here. I'm gonna repeat the same like the same thing that I made from the previous row. I made my 2 back post double crochet, and now I'm doing 8 front post double crochet, and then repeat 2 back post, 8 front post until I finish the row. And as you can see, it will begin to look more obvious and more elevated as we work the front post double crochet. So I love doing this trick so much because it really helped to hide the 2 chains that I made in the beginning in every row, and it will be more obvious as we go. And as you can see, it looks so perfect. And now I'm gonna repeat the same thing, make 2 back post double crochet, and then I'm gonna make my 8 front post double crochet, and I'm gonna repeat my 8 parts because I have 8 of 8 front post double crochet because I have 80 chains, so I have 8 cables. So I'm gonna repeat this, and I'm gonna make another row. You can make another 2 rows, but for me it's perfect to make another row, so I have 4 rows with the starting row before I begin to start my cable. So stay tuned, I finish them and I'm gonna come back to show you how to do it. Okay guys, I finished my 4th row. So I made 4 rows. You can increase if you like, but for me I found like the 4 rows is like more than perfect because I have kind of a small sized head, so it's perfect for me. So I have 4 rows. So I ended up with a front post double crochet, 8 front post double crochet, and now I know I am in the right track. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slip stitch to close or to like finish my row and start the next row. Chain 2 as always, and as you can see, I continue my trick the whole way. So it's not only 1 row, just take the 2 chains with the first back post double crochet and make it in 1. That will really help to hide the 2 chains and makes it look so symmetrical and so perfect, and the finishing is like nice and clean. So I love doing this until I finish the cable and the hat itself. So that's what I'm doing here. And again, I make another back post double crochet. I'm sorry, the camera was out of focus a little. So here we go again. But as you can see, it looks way better than leaving the 2 chains. It's a little bit thicker than the other one, but it will not be obvious. So now it's time to make our cable. So pay attention because it's a little bit tricky, okay? So as you can see, I have 8 front post double crochet, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna divide it into 2 sections, the first 4 and the second 4. So we're gonna work in sections, first 4 and second 4. In the first 4, I'm gonna work on the second 2. So I'm gonna skip the first double crochet, and I'm gonna work on the second double crochet on the first 4. Okay, so I have the second 4. I'm gonna leave it now. I'm gonna work in the first 4. I'm gonna work on the second 2. I'm gonna skip 2, work on these 2, and we're gonna work treble, and we're gonna work front post treble. Okay, so this is the work in this row except for the back post. Again, can you see, I yarn over twice and like take it to the front to make front post treble 1, 2, 3. And again, I'm gonna yarn over twice around my needle and go to the next one. I'm gonna grab it to the front and make front post treble. Go through 2, go through 2, go through 2. So I have my 2 triples. So the next step is a little bit tricky. Pay attention. We're gonna work treble on the first 2, but from the back of treble that we made, not from the work itself. Okay, it's a little bit tricky if you are a beginner, but it will be easier by practice. As you can see, I'm going from the back of the treble, not from the work. I need to make a front post treble, so I'm grabbing it just like this and grab it to the back of my 2 trebles that I just made, and grab it to the upper part so I can see what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna just finish my treble, go through 2, go through 2, and go through 2. As you can see, a little bit difficult, but we get used to it. Okay, now this is my second. I'm using my fingers to take the treble away. As you can see, hold it just like this so I can see where I'm going from the back, not from the back of the work, from the back of that 2 treble that we made at the beginning. Grab this bar or this post and make front post treble. Okay, so we need the first 2 to be behind the second 2 treble. So as you can see, we have kind of a crisscross shape here. So this is the trickiest part of this whole cappello, and the next part of the next half is way easier. So as you can see, I have again 4. I'm gonna skip the first 2 and work 2 front post treble in the second 2 as we did before. Okay, so there's nothing, like no increasing here. So the difference is we're gonna make 2 triples, 2 front post triples in front of the 2 that we just made. As you can see, these are like was on the front. I'm gonna make these 2 that I just made to the back. So this is the first 2 triple. I'm not gonna go from the back, I'm gonna go from the front, just like this, just the front of the front, and make 2 front post triple in these 2. This is way easier, right? So as you can see, this is the second one. Just grab it and then just take it up a bit and finish my triple. And as you can see, I finished my first cappello. So this is the shape that we need to have. As you can see, I have 4 here. So the second 2 triple need to be in front the first 2 in the first half, or the first 4, but the first 4 in the second part need to be in front the second like the second triple. As you can see, I hope you can understand what I'm saying. I hope everything is obvious. It feels a little bit tricky to explain, in fact. So if you are a beginner, that will be kind of a tricky to do, but we will get used to it. So as you can see, the back post, we're not gonna do anything, and we're gonna make a double crochet back post double crochet. The back post, there's no change in it until we finish. The only trick and play is on the front post only. And as you can see, again, I'm doing the same thing again, dividing in 2 sections, 4 and 4. And the first 4, we're gonna skip the first 2 and work on the second 2 and make 2 triple front post triple as we did before. So I guess I don't need to explain again, because I'm gonna repeat myself, but I'm gonna do the same thing what I did. So I need these to be in the front. So I'm gonna go from the back in this part, and in the second half I'm going from the front. So I'm gonna leave you now to see what I'm doing. I hope I explain everything perfect way. I hope you can understand what I'm doing, because it's a bit tricky. So if you are a beginner, again, I just like really insist on being a beginner. It will be a little bit like confusing, you will feel it's difficult. That's normal. For me, for the first time when I did this one, it was a little bit tricky, but when like I get the hang of it, and it was so easy when I knew what to do. So don't like lose hope and continue practicing until you get it. And as you can see, it becomes so easy for me. So yeah, if I can do it, of course you can do it too. So I'm gonna leave you now to see what I'm doing, the next 2 cables, and I'm gonna see you on the next row. After I finish this, I'm gonna see you at the end, like after I made a couple of cables, I guess, to show you how it's gonna look like, and I'm gonna see you in the beginning of the next row again. So as you can see here, I finished like 3 cables, I guess. Yeah, 3 cables. As you can see, it looks so beautiful. And I'm gonna finish the whole row until I reach the beginning of the row to go to the next level, to show you all you need to do to make this like more obvious and nice. But this is the most difficult row ever and every time. So let's continue. Okay guys, as you can see, I finished the first row of the cable. We're gonna make 3 rows for each cable or for each twist, okay? So I finished this one and reached the end, so I'm gonna slip stitch to the first stitch here to close my row, and I'm ready to go to the next step. As you can see, the twist begin to be more obvious. I'm gonna chain 2 as usual, and I'm gonna take my chain 2 and a back post double crochet from the previous row and make my back post double crochet as usual. The trick that we're gonna use until we finish our hat or cap, and do the other one, and they are like, we're not gonna change anything about the back post. So now it's time to go and make front post double crochet. This row and the next row would be a front post double crochet, only the twist will be a triple, okay? So as you can see, I have my first 4 and the second 4. My first 4, I'm gonna divide it into 2 sections as usual. So the first and second triple that I have is my third and fourth stitches, and the first and second become my third and fourth. So I don't care about the twist, I'm gonna work as the stitches that I have. So I'm gonna work on the 2 triple on the front first, which will be the third and fourth before, and then I'm gonna work on the triple on the back, which will be my third and fourth in this row. So it's a little bit tricky, but as we go, we're gonna like understand what I'm talking about. As you can see, this is my first triple. I'm gonna make a front post double crochet in this one. So it's my first stitch, and this is my second one. It's a front triple. I'm gonna make a front post double crochet in the same one as well. So I finished the first 2, and as you can see, I have 2 back front post triple from the previous row. I'm gonna work on these. So this is the stitches as we start is number 1 and 2, okay? Become 3 and 4 in this row right now. Again, I don't care about what was going on below the twist. Just from the twist, work your way in. As you can see, the twist of the cable begin to be more obvious as we working on this row. And again, I'm gonna repeat the same thing. But as you can see, I'm gonna work on the back triple first because they are my first. As you can see, the second 4, my first 2 become my last 2, and vice versa. So I'm gonna work on the back triple first to make my front post double crochet, 2 front post double crochet, each double crochet in each one double crochet in each one, and again, and as you can see, I have my last 2 treble which are in the front. I'm gonna make 2 front post double crochet on this as well. So I finished my 8 front post double crochet in this row, and as you can see, the twist become more prominent and more obvious, and you can see the difference between 1 row and 2 rows, and it's really beautiful and really nice. And as you can see, this is the twist. So we're gonna work the cable on 3 rows, the twist, which will be a treble front post, of course, all this in the front post, and then the second and the third rows would be front post double crochet. And as usual, we're not gonna do anything about the back post double crochet. We're gonna make 2 back post double crochet as usual. And again, I'm gonna repeat the same thing on this one as well to show you what I'm doing. And as you can see, going to the first treble that I have in the front and make a double crochet in it, the second one, and again make a double crochet in it. All that is a front post double crochet, and I have 2 on the back here. So I'm bringing it with my finger to the front a little bit so I can see where I'm going, so I'm not going anywhere wrong, like taking like a wrong turn or wrong yarn with me. So you do that. If you are a beginner, it would be a little bit tricky, but as you finish the first 3 rows of the cable, you will get used to it and you'll feel it's like very easy to do actually. So here we go. I'm going to the second half and make my 2 back treble first because they are my first 2 stitches to work on, and then I'm gonna go to these last triple to finish my double crochet. Okay, front post double crochet. And as you can see, it looks so beautiful. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna repeat the whole thing, the whole length. I have 8 cables. I'm gonna repeat everything again until I finish this row and come back to like a slip stitch and come back to show you what I'm gonna do in the next row. And by the next row, as we finish it, we'll finish the first part of the cable. We're gonna repeat the same thing, the same 3 rows again and again until we finish. So stay tuned to go to row number 3 of the cable. Okay guys, as you can see, I finished the second row of my cable. I'm gonna slip stitch to the first stitch to finish my row, and it's done and perfect. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna chain 2 as usual and take my chain 2 and the back post, the first back post double crochet from the previous row to make 1 back post double crochet, the trick that we're gonna use until we finish our cap. As you can see, it looks a little bit thicker than the second one, but will not be obvious, I promise. This trick is amazing. So as you can see, I have my 8 my 8 back front post double crochet from the previous row. This row is pretty easy. We're gonna repeat like the same ribbed pattern. We're gonna make 1 front post double crochet in each one, like it's organized and arranged in front of us. There is no trick here. So we're gonna make 8 front post double crochet in each one of them, and then we're gonna make our 2 back post double crochet and repeat until we finish the 8 cables that I have here. I have 8 cables, so I'm gonna finish it 8 times to finish my hat and reach the end of the row, and a slip stitch to start the next row, which will be the twist again. So each cable, each small section, we're gonna make a twist and 2 rows of double crochet. All that is a front post, and the twist will be a triple double crochet. Okay, a triple crochet, triple double crochet. So as you can see, I made my 2 back post double crochet as usual, and again I'm gonna repeat the same thing. It's really easy and really pretty. So I'm gonna repeat the same thing until I reach the beginning of the row, as I told you, to show you what we're gonna do next. Okay, before we go, I'm just showing you how it's gonna look like. As you can see, the twist looks so beautiful and so obvious after we finish our 3 rows, and now the first part of the cable is finished. And as you can see, the twist looks so beautiful. As I said, it will be a triple to make this crisscross or twist thing. My nails here was broken. Okay, and then we're gonna make the second and third row will be a front post double crochet to arrange everything and make the cable looks nicer. So it's a 3 rows. We're gonna repeat them over and over. So let's go to the next step to show you what we're gonna do in the next row. Okay guys, as you can see, I finished the third row of my cable and I slip stitched, and it's ready to go to the next step, which will be the first row, the twist row. Okay, I finished my 3 rows of the cable. It's time to make a new one. So I'm gonna chain 2, and again I'm gonna make like a back post double crochet, taking the 2 chains and a back post double crochet, and I'm gonna make the second one as usual as we did before. And now it's time to repeat the same row, the first row of the twist. So I'm gonna work a front post treble, okay, crochet. So I'm gonna go to the third one here because we working on the first 4, and after we working on the first 4, we're gonna work on the third and fourth first, and then we're gonna go back to the first and second. So I made my 2 front post treble, and then I'm gonna like yarn over twice and go from the back as we did before. I'm explaining everything again if you want to hear it. If you don't, you can skip to the next step. I just wanted to explain everything again to make sure that you got it, especially if you're a beginner. I'm just focusing on the beginners in this video. So as you can see, I am making sure that I made my treble perfectly on the first one, and again I'm taking my 2 treble that I made before. The first 2 I'm taking like away from my way so I can see where I'm going, because this kind of yarn is a little bit slippery and just they can go to like a small strains. So I don't want to go with my needle into like a wrong place. So that's why I'm doing this, and of course to see perfectly. And again, going to the second 4, I'm working on the third and fourth one, making my front post triple, and then going to the first and second, make a treble in front of these 2 triples as we did before. And by doing this, I finished my first twist or my second twist. It's the second part of my cable or my braid, and we're done. As you can see here, you can see the difference here, that you can see that begin to have like a very nice twist in it. By this twist, we took the double crochet from the previous row and make it go to take the turn to make a new part of the cable. It looks beautiful, and of course as we work it will be more obvious after we finish my multiple cables or multiple twists of the cable. And here I'm gonna repeat another one again so we can see after I finish like 2 how it's gonna look like, and then we are ready to go to the next step. So this is the first row of our 3 rows cable. So I'm gonna repeat the 3 rows every time as I said before. This one is a twist, the second one will be a front post double crochet, and the third one will be again front post double crochet before we go to the next one, which will be the twist. So that's what we're gonna do. And after we finish multiple cables, just depend on the length of the cap or the hat that you want, you begin to like decrease and make the difference to close your ice cap or close your hat. So I'm gonna finish this row and come back after I finish multiple rows or like multiple times of the cable so we can see what we're gonna do in the next step. But before we go, I just want to show you how it looks like. And as you can see, the cable begin to have a very nice shape just after we finish the second twist, and it will be more obvious as we work. And as you can see, the twist looks beautiful and looks so symmetrical and nice. And always remember the twist row is treble and all the other rows will be a double crochet. Okay, so as you can see, it looks so beautiful. So I'm gonna repeat the same 3 rows that we did over and over until I finished like about like 5 or 6, I can't remember. I'm gonna see just with you in a minute until I reach the length that I want for my ice cap or my hat. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna finish multiple rows of this one to have my length, and I'll come back to show you what we're gonna do in the next step. So stay tuned to close everything and make it wearable and nice. Okay guys, as you can see, I finished my hat. I made about like 6 twists or 6 cable above each other. Of course, you can increase or decrease as you want, but for me, I had a little bit of like a kind of a small head, so this is very nice and convenient for me. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna make another 2 rows, and these 2 rows will be decreasing rows, so we can decrease the number of the stitches, so when we close the cap and like make it like nice, it will be wearable, looks beautiful, not crowded, and have a lot of like stitches in the back of our on the top of our head. So let's do it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna decrease by 2 rows. So the first row will be so easy. As you can see, I chain 2 for elevation, and then I'm gonna make a back post double crochet, and I'm gonna yarn over from 2 loops, and I'm gonna stop here. So I have 2 loops on my hook. Okay, I didn't finish the first one, I just stopped in the half of it, and then I'm gonna go to the next back post double crochet and make another one in it, and just yarn over and yarn over from 2 loops. So I finish and stop here, so I have 3 loops in my hook, and I'm gonna yarn over, take it from all the 3 loops. By doing this, I decrease my 2 back post double crochet to 1 back post double crochet only. So I decrease 2 to 1. I'm gonna repeat the same thing, but in the front post would be a front post double crochet. So I'm gonna make a front post double crochet and a stop here, so I have 2 loops, and then I'm gonna make another front post double crochet on the next one, and then I'm gonna grab the yarn from 2 loops, so stop. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm gonna grab the yarn and yarn over from all the 3. So I decreased these 2 front post double crochet into 1 front post double crochet, and I'm gonna repeat the same thing like all around. So the front post, every 2 will be 1, the back post I have 2 would be 1, and this really will decrease the number of the stitches that you have by half. So I started with 80, I will finish this row with 40 stitches. So this is the massive decrease, and in the same time will make the ice cap or the hat look so beautiful, and the cable looks neat, not crowded, and finished very nicely. So that's what I'm gonna do. Basically, I'm gonna decrease every 2 to 1, because I have like 8 front post double crochet would be 4 front post double crochet, and I have 2 back posts would be 1. So as you can see, I finished my first cable, looks so beautiful, have this kind of an oval shape, looks so nice and neat. So that's what I'm gonna do, repeat until I finish this row, and then I'm gonna go to the next one, which will be the last row before we like the closure of our cap, to decrease it a little bit more so it will look more neat and nice. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna leave you now to see what I'm doing, and I'm gonna see you soon like in the next row to show you how to decrease the next step and make everything look beautiful before we close our cap and make it wearable and nice. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so as you can see, I finished this row, the first row of decreasing, and now what I'm gonna do, I have only 1 back post double crochet. I'm gonna slip stitch to this one here. So as you can see, the opening become way smaller, and it will be more smaller after we finish this row that we're gonna do right now. So let's do it. As you can see, and again, I'm gonna chain 2 for my elevation, that's basic, and I don't have any like I only have 1 back post double crochet, so there's nothing I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna make the back post, I have only 1, so I'm gonna make it 1 back post double crochet, no decreasing in the back post. All my decrease will be on the front post only because I still have 4. As you can see, I have 4 here because every 2 become 1. It looks I have 2, but when you look from the up, you see it only 1 stitch. Okay, so as you can see, I'm gonna take the first 2 and make it to 1, and again as I did before. So now I decreased from 8 to 4 and now 4 to 2. And again, I have here 2, looks like 4, but when we look from up, have 2 stitches. So they are 2 front post double crochet, and again, make again, don't complete it, stop, and again, make another front post double crochet from this one, and the yarn over from 2, yarn over from all 3, and here we go. So I finished my part, looks like an oval shape, looks nice. The closure is neat and beautiful, and here on the back post I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just make back post double crochet because I don't have any other back post. It's only one and don't wanna like haphazard the pattern, so all my work will be on the front post only because I still have 4. I can decrease them into 2. So again, I'm gonna repeat the same thing, take like each 2 and make it into 1 by like yarning over from all 3 loops, so 2 become 1, and repeat the same thing, and by finishing this row, the opening would be way smaller, would be way easier to close, looks so beautiful and neat, as you're gonna see in a minute. So as you can see, the finishing looks beautiful and really nice. So I have 8 front post become 4, become 2. I'm not gonna do it become 1 because it will make it so like loose, not very nice on the top of my head. So I'm gonna stop in this row, will be enough for me. Okay guys, as you can see, I finished this row and this is my last row finally, and I'm gonna slip stitch to my first stitch, and here we go. So as you can see, my opening become way smaller than before, and it's really nice to be closed and looks beautiful. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna leave a very nice tail because I'm gonna use it to close this opening, and I cut the yarn and make sure everything is perfect, and I'm gonna fasten off to make sure that my hat is like closed and like perfect. Okay, as you can see, looks so beautiful. I'm gonna use this tapestry needle to weave in the yarn and close the upper opening of my cap. And what I'm gonna do now, it's pretty easy, there is no order. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back and forth inside my stitches to make sure that I'm going in complete round to close my upper opening. But what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna make 2 rounds because I'm kind of a girl like everything to be more secured. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going back and forth in every stitch, as you can see here. I'm not gonna pull out the yarn yet. I'm gonna make sure that I made everything. So I'm gonna go like back and forth until I finish 2 complete rounds to make sure when I close my upper opening, it will be more secured and it will not go anywhere. The yarn is not weak to to be cut, and like I have opening again. And now here I finished my first round because I can see the tail from like down below, and again I'm going to the next round right now to make sure, as I said, everything is secure, still not pulling the yarn. When we finish the 2 rows, it will be easy to pull the yarn and close everything. And after I finish, I make sure I close it very perfectly, like there's no opening on the upper part. And then I'm gonna take my yarn in like to the inside of my cap to make sure when I make a knot and make everything closed and perfect, it will not be shown on the outer side. As you can see, I pull it very tightly and looks beautiful. And then I'm gonna like take the yarn inside, or put the yarn inside my needle again because it went out, and again I make sure it's too tight, and I'm not gonna like make any knot on the outer part. I'm gonna take my yarn with my needle to the inside to make my knot and make everything secure. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. So as you can see, I finished make about like 2 knots and I cut the yarn. Of course I'm gonna weave in later on, but because it's in inside, not obvious. So the most important part, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do to this tail. As you remember, I told you I need to leave a very nice tail at the beginning of the work so I can weave it in inside my hat. After you finish, this is why. As you can see, I have a nice tail, so I can weave it in and make it disappear inside my work. I'm not gonna cut it because if I cut it, it can make the hat look bad. As you can see, I'm using my tapestry needle and take it inside on the back post. This is the back post from the back, so as it's from the back, it become a front post inside in the wrong side. So what I'm gonna do now, as you can see, going back and forth to make sure the yarn is embedded inside my work. It will not go anywhere. I'm not gonna like make sure it's not too tight so it's not obvious, and then after I finish, I will cut the rest of it, the extra. So I'm not gonna just like at the beginning of the first stitch, because if I did that, it will look so bad. It can like bulge out and the whole hat will be like destroyed. So this is my hat. I really hope you like it. I hope it was easy for you. I really enjoyed doing it. I really hope you enjoyed watching it, and if you did it, please let me know. I really hope you like it, and it looks so beautiful wearing it as you saw me in the beginning of the video. And yeah, this is for this tutorial. So this is it for this tutorial. I really hope you like this project and you enjoy watching it, and if you're gonna do it, I hope you enjoy doing it, and I really hope that I explain everything in details and you can understand me and you can understand what I'm doing, and I hope it was easy for beginners, especially because it's a little bit kind of tricky, but it's really nice. When you finish it, you will feel so much like you are did something. When I finished this project for the first time, because it was kind of a little bit tricky for me to do this kind of stitches, it was amazing. I felt so good. So I really hope you feel good too, and if you try this one, please let me know in the comment section down below how it turned out. And if you have any questions, if you can't understand anything, please let me know in the comments. I'll be so happy to answer all of your questions and your comments as well. And I really hope you like this video, and of course, as usual, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, and share the video with your friends if you like it, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook. These links will be in the description box down below, and don't forget to hit the bell button so you have a notification every time I upload a new video on my channel. And I'm gonna see you soon in my next video. I love you so much. Bye.